Yeah, I just wonder how many planets we're going to have to grow trees on to make up for carbon emissions. I think there are real issues with that approach. One way of looking at Australia is that we don't actually have an emissions problem because our population's sufficiently small that effectively our emissions can be absorbed by Australia itself. So one way of looking at the problem is this isn't really an emissions problem, it's an overpopulation problem. But the solution to that is not one that I'm going to go anywhere near. As I understand it, one of the issues with agriculture is flatulence. And I'm not sure I'm not sure why it should be the case that cows would be more flatulent than kangaroos, but someone might be able to help me out.
It's burping. It's not flatulence. It's far less naughty.
Burping, is it?
Yeah, it's burping. Yep. And sorry, the tree comment's completely out of order. Australia's carbon emissions, when we were heavily clearing in Queensland, was 10% of the nation's carbon dioxide emissions from clearing of land. 10%. The equivalent of taking and stopping that, if we can stop it, is the equivalent of taking half the cars off the road. So the land sector is not to be discounted.
And we've got 8 billion people on the planet. How are we going to feed them all if we stop people grazing and clearing and managing their land?
I'm not stopping anybody grazing. I didn't say I was going to stop anybody grazing.
And during that period, there was actually more regrowth.
We're feeding 10 billion people at the moment, so there's excess food production food starvation is not a volume production.
If everyone starts growing trees on their pasture, it will be a problem.
They want to grow trees on their pasture. They're reforesting as we speak. It's happening all over Australia. So just read the Financial Review last weekend.
Sure, if you pay them more to do that,
and they're being productive.
Then
pastoralists are being productive.
Yeah, but you keep growing those trees and covering that land. Their productive capacity for cows will stop.
So,
well, what are you going to eat?
10 billion people can be fed now, and the productivity of agriculture is enormous.
But if you keep tying up land by growing trees on it because of your emissions, then you're not going to have that same productivity.
And it goes into the soil, improves agricultural productivity, you get more food. There. Anyway, sorry, we're going off top, but I think the agricultural scientists have all agreed, the farmers have all agreed. I've met with AgForce, Queensland Farmers Federation. They're very keen on the carbon markets and they see growing food productivity with increased carbon on land.
I think AgForce are getting themselves jammed and they're going to have trouble with their members fairly shortly.